Hey everyone, welcome to your practice. I'm Molly, and today we're going to do a 20 to 30 minute mellow embodied feel good class. So we'll find some movement, but nothing is going to be too spicy. You can always use some props, so have a bolster or a couple blocks nearby if you want to just find a little bit more ease and bring the ground up to you. And today's class is going to be kind of nature-based on seasonal shifts, seasonal changes. So we'll move from spring through summer, through fall, through winter, and just kind of embody what each of those seasons might mean for you or might bring about in changes in your actions, behavior, what you focus on. Okay, and before we get started, I wanted to mention if you're interested in combining your yoga practice with fitness in a way that's really balanced and enjoyable and effective, I have a free 1-week trial to my app. You can check the link below and see what you think. I think it's a great time, so hopefully you like it. And let's get started. Come into a child's pose. Bring your knees out wide, your toes in the center to touch. Sit your hips back towards your heels. Walk your hands forward and then rest your forehead down. Taking a few moments to just arrive into your body, arrive into your practice. Maybe take a big breath for the first time today. Feel free to rock your hips from side to side. That can feel really nice and grounding. And just plant a seed, plant an intention for your practice today. Being open and receptive to what a seasonal shift might mean in your life and how we can learn from nature and integrate lessons along the way. If you close your eyes, you can blink them open, and let's come into all fours, tabletop. Stack your shoulders over your wrists and your hips over your knees, and take just a moment to explore here. So kind of reawakening the body. You could move through cat-cow, dropping your belly and lifting your heart forward on an inhale. And then on an exhale, push the ground away and round through the back body. Staying linear like this or inviting sways, ribcage circles, spirals, twists with your shoulder. Whatever feels good for you today. This is different every single day. So just meet your body and yourself where you are. Good. Keep your toes tucked if you haven't tucked them already. Sit your hips back towards your heels. Left hand stays forward. Right hand comes back behind you. Your palm will face up towards the sky. So we're in a child's pose, but just one arm forward. As you inhale, round forward, dragging the back of your hand along the mat. And as you inhale, again, twist open to the right. Exhale, sit your hips towards your heels, land your right foot on the outside, or right hand on the outside of your right foot, and drop your forehead down. So one breath per movement now. Inhale to round forward, drag that hand forward, and then up through an open twist, pushing the ground away with your left hand. Exhale, hips to heels, land at the back of your mat. And one more time with your breath. So we're grounded, 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 and then expanding. This time as you exhale, thread the needle. Right hand dives underneath left shoulder. Rest your right ear down. Just a couple breaths here. Let it feel good. Twisting through the thoracic spine. You could push your left fingertips into the mat a little bit. Try to keep your hips square. Breathe into the rib cage, the upper spine, the low back and the belly. One more full breath. Exhale, push through your left hand, tabletop. Right hand plants. A couple of breaths to explore again in your tabletop shape. And then eventually right hand stays forward, left hand stays back. Active child's pose. Slow rep on this first one. Inhale, drag your back of your left hand forward as you round through the back body, stacking shoulders over your right wrist. And exhale, we'll eventually lift your left hand forward, and then inhale to reach it up, twisting open to the left. And exhale, hips to heels, left hand by your left foot. And 1 breath per movement. Now inhale, roll forward. Twisting open to the left. Exhale, hips to heels. Last one, inhale, round through your tabletop, twist open. Exhale, thread the needle. Left hand dives underneath the right arm, and you could press into your right fingertips to really open up across the collarbones. Feel that twist through the upper back. A couple deep breaths here. Last inhale. Exhale, push through your right hand, tabletop, and then we're going to come to kneeling. You can keep your toes tucked, or if that's really intense for the bottoms of your feet, you can untuck your toes. Stack shoulders over pelvis at the back of your mat. All right, we'll move through some cat-cow. As you inhale, cactus your elbows back. Lift your heart up to the sky. Gaze can follow, arching through the spine. As you exhale, round through the back body. Pull hands towards each other in front of you. Inhale to extend your spine. Exhale to round and curl and compress. And again, we're thinking of being grounded in our lower body, but then maybe you find some more expansion. So you could inhale to a tall kneeling, extending your hips forward, again, cactusing, opening up the heart. And then exhale, maybe you hinge your hips back just a little bit, but stay upright. A couple more rounds with your kneeling cat-cow. Feeling yourself kind of growing and expanding from the ground upwards. And then eventually, tabletop. Step your right foot in between your hands so you land in a low lunge. And from here, we'll just floss out our hips. So as we inhale, bend into your right knee, lift your arms up into Anjaneyasana, low lunge. Exhale, half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana, straighten into the right leg and sweep your arms behind you. It doesn't have to be totally straight, just kind of find that type of rocking back and forth motion. Inhale for low lunge, exhale for half splits. And then find some fluidity, find some play, a sense of flow with your breath. Maybe feeling like you're moving like a wave, bringing that upwards, and then washing it back. Last time, inhale, low lunge. Exhale, step your left foot to the top of the mat, Uttanasana, forward fold. Let your head hang heavy. Push down through your feet, roll up your spine one segment at a time. Your pelvis will stack, your low back, mid back, upper back, shoulders and neck. And then hinge at your hips, cascade your heart forward and down. Close your eyes and move like you through your circle chair for a couple more breaths. Inhale to roll up, make it slow. Feel each segment of your spine moving. Exhale to fold down. Finish up your last one and then step your right foot back, lower your left or right knee down to the ground. Flossing out your hips, inhale, Anjaneyasana. Engage your right glute, shoot your hips forward and stretch your arms up to the sky, opening up across the chest, lengthening through the side bodies, the waist. Exhale, half splits, Ardha Hanumanasana. Slide back, straighten into your front leg. Inhale forward, opening front body. Exhale back, opening back body. And then close your eyes. Maybe you can kind of picture yourself like a wave rushing upwards and then kind of receding back. Let's do one more round. As you exhale, hands frame your left foot, tuck your back toes, step back, downward facing dog. And take a moment to pedal out your feet a little bit, feeling out this shape for the day. And then we're gonna move into a couple of vinyasas and salutations, kind of harness some energy and vitality here. So as you inhale, bend your knees, gaze forward to your thumbs. Exhale, plant your feet on the outside of your hands. So coming into an active squat. Inhale, drop your hips low, hands come to heart center. Exhale, stand. You can keep your toes pointing out. Inhale, reach up, extend your hips. Gaze up to the sky. Exhale, malasana, hands to heart center and sink low. Hands plant, inhale, step back to plank pose. Exhale, lower down all the way to your belly. Fingertips come wide, untuck your toes, press into the tops of your feet and engage the back body. As you inhale, lift up into oscillating cobra. Thread heart threads forward and through. Exhale, release down. Plant your hands, tuck your toes. You can push up through plank or through hands and knees. Downward facing dog. Inhale, bend your knees, gaze forward. Exhale, wide steps towards the top of the mat. Hips low, hands to heart center, breathe in. Straighten your legs, stand, breathe out. Inhale, reach up, gaze up. Exhale, squat. Moving with your breath, inhale, hands plant, step back to plank or lower your knees. Exhale all the way down to your belly, untuck your toes, tent your fingertips wide. Inhale, push through your feet, lift your heart forward and up. Cobra shape, exhale, drip it back down. Toes tuck, hands plant, inhale. Up to plank or tabletop. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, knees bend, gaze forward. Exhale, top of the mat, feet wide. Hips low, hands to heart center, breathe in. Breathe out to stand. Inhale, gaze up, reach up. Exhale, return to your squat. Inhale, hands plant, step back, moving that energy through. Exhale, lower down to your belly. Untuck your toes, elbows up to the sky. Cobra on your in-breath. Out-breath to let it go. Hands plant, tuck toes through knees or plank pose. Find your downward facing dog. And then let's move through one more round just on your own time with your own breath. Taking any modifications or variations that you want to take. Feeling a sense of aliveness and energy. Eventually, we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Take your time getting there. And then once you do, walk your hands to the back of the mat. Find Uttanasana, forward fold. Push down through your feet, roll up your spine, one segment at a time. And then ground here, stabilize, kind of reconnect. You can close your eyes. Take a mountain pose, Tadasana, palms face forward. Tall spine. Settled here. Shift your weight into your left foot. Blink your eyes open and take tree pose, Vrikshasana. Sole of the right foot somewhere along the left inner seam of your leg, so you can do a kickstand on the ground. You could come to your calf, your inner thigh, and then push inner thigh and foot into each other. Hands to heart center and breathe. You can think of fall as a really amazing time of year to slow down a little bit, to kind of gather all the pieces of us that maybe have been playing during the summer. Finding a little bit more stability and grounding. One more breath here. Left foot stays where it is. Circle your right foot back and around behind you towards the left and take a curtsy side stretch. Arms sweep up and then over to the left. Your left hand can capture your right wrist. Heart opens up to the sky, gaze up. Breathe into the right lung. Just because it feels good. One more in breath. Let it go. Step your weight into your right foot. Feel evenness through both sides. And then shift it over to the right. Take your tree pose variation. Maybe you do the same thing as the other side. Maybe you experiment. And if you fall, just come back, get back into it. Okay, hands pressed together. Foot and leg pressed together. 5 breaths. Slowing down. Maybe you can picture some roots growing from the bottom of your foot into the earth. The last inhale lifts you up through the crown of your head. Exhale, swing your left foot back behind you to the right. Bend into your right knee. Take a side stretch over to the right side. Arms up and then over. Right hand could capture left wrist. Open your heart towards the sky. Let it feel good through the left side of your waist. Big breath in. Exhale, 2 feet land. Okay, forward fold, Uttanasana. Walk your hands forward into downward facing dog. And then pigeon pose. Right foot steps forward, your shin can be parallel and your ankle can be flexed, or your shin can be at an angle with the ankle and toes pointed. It doesn't really matter. Think about pulling your right hip crease back and your left hip crease forward. Stay upright for just a moment. Tent out your fingertips, and we'll move with our breath a little bit. So inhale to wave your heart forward and then up. Exhale to fold and drip down, oscillating pigeon. Inhale to roll forward and up. Exhale, let it go. Last one, breathe in. And on your exhale, let's all kind of release and melt. You can use any props that you like underneath the right hip, underneath your forehead, your forearms. Somewhere where you can settle in for about 5 or 10 breaths. Feel the ground underneath you and find comfort. Another 2 breaths here. See if you can soften your jaw and your brow, your shoulders. Eventually push through your hands. Tuck your left toes and step back, downward facing dog. Switch it out. Left shin forward at whatever angle or position that works for you. You could also come into deer pose. I didn't mention that, but bending the right knee and bringing it towards the sole of your left foot. This is a little bit more gentle of a hip opener. Okay, tent out your fingertips, walk them wide. 3 breaths. Inhale to reach forward and through with your chest. And exhale to release down. On your last one, land for a moment for several breaths. Build the ground up to you if you need. See if you can breathe deeply into the belly, into the sides of the waist, and into the back body, the back of the rib cage. Let go of any clenching in your left glute. Final inhale here. As you exhale, sit down onto your left hip and swing your right leg around. I'm going to find Paschimottanasana, forward fold. If you have a bolster, this is a really good spot to bring it underneath your knees. All right, so find your position, both sit bones grounded. And as you're ready, you can fold down. Your feet do not have to be flexed. You can totally relax them and just kind of drape yourself on the inside of your legs. Really rest here. Find a sense of restoration, of silence, of stillness, of creating space, which are all things that we can do, especially during winter. If your mind has wandered, bring it back to any sensations in the body or just tracing your breath in and out. Give your mind a few minutes to untangle and just to be here, be silent, still. A fruitful emptiness. Walk your hands back underneath your shoulders. Lift up slowly and gently. And then scoot your bolster forward just a few inches. Let's come to lay back into Shavasana. If you don't want to use a bolster, you don't have to. Just find a comfortable, your version of corpse pose. Surrendering here. Feeling yourself widen and soften and open. Knowing that nature always moves cyclically and seasonally. And there are times for growth and expansion. There are times for settling and rest. Close your eyes down if you haven't already. Notice any tension you're holding and see if you can become heavier through your bones. Maybe the skin on your face widens. Simple inhales and exhales for 3 more breaths. If you'd like to stay in Shavasana for longer, please do. Otherwise, you can start to circle out your wrists and your ankles, eventually roll onto one side, and then push up into a seat. Keeping your eyes closed, bring your hands towards your knees and just kind of rock side to side, maybe taking any final movements that feel good in your body. And final breath in together, sweep your arms high, meet your palms in center. And exhale, fold. Bowing to your practice, to your body, to the fact that you are an element and a piece of nature and that you can take these qualities with you. You can start to rub your hands along your thighs, blink your eyes open, and just take in the space around you. I hope you enjoyed that class. I hope you feel great in your body and in your spirit, and I will see you next time. Thanks for being here.